so many people that are out there that still don't know that because of what's going on in here, their outside world is the way that it is. A lot of people don't realize that you can't fix your external problems until you fix your internal problems. What's good? It's your boy, Glacier, breaking down the icebergs of life. Now today, I want to kind of discuss something that happened to me within my own personal life. I want to discuss something that has been bothering me. I want to discuss something that has been holding me back. Self-significance. Self-significance is the value that you place on yourself, the way that you view yourself, the way that you think you're valuable of. For the longest time, I was always trying to do things and buy things to try to raise my self-significance, but nothing ever truly was working. You see, self-significance does not come from an outside factor. It's internal. It's something deeper than just your surface level problems, just your surface level issues. It goes back to childhood trauma. It goes back to seeing things like your parents getting divorced, from your parents arguing about you, to even things that you heard when you were a child growing up. When you suffer with self-significance issues, it shows up in relationships. Now, shout out to my sister. I love my sister. We was having a conversation really just about my reactions to how I deal with certain issues with women, with issues that I dealt with my partners. And I've realized that in a way, all the problems that I've had have all connected and stemmed from me. You see, in a relationship, it's about two people coming together to make a whole. But I was always a part of myself. I was never fully complete. I was not fully complacent with who I was. My sister was really breaking it down to me that, you do a lot of things that you do because of our childhood, because of maybe mommy issues, daddy issues. And the crazy thing is that when she said that, it was almost like a light bulb went off in my head. Everything that I've struggled with in my life has been from a self-significant point. Everything that I've done, my reactions, my actions, my everything, it's all because I was trying to overcompensate for something that I thought I was missing. I was always trying to add something into my life in order to add worth, in order to add value. I wanted to always find the next thing that was going to make me feel like I'm me. I wanted to find something that was going to make me feel like I have earned a spot in this world. And so what did I do? I started working out constantly, had no goals in mind. I was just literally a gym rat for the purpose of I wanted to look the absolute best, to the point where I was really punishing myself, trying to be in the absolute best shape of my life, not even working towards a goal just because. I'm buying the most flashy clothing you could imagine. Designer belts, designer hoodies, designer clothes, the most expensive shoes. They don't even matter how good they look. I look at the price tag and I see the most expensive one, I'm like, yeah. But in reality, all I was doing was I was just wearing my worth on my sleeve. And I'm sorry to say, those are only materialistic things. So it was never going to make me feel satisfied at the end of the day. I had regrets that I didn't make the basketball team. I had regrets of just not going out of my comfort zone. And I used to be so hard on myself. Everything was always about me. On top of that, I felt like because now there was another person on the line, I had to reach their expectations. I had to perform more than regular. I can't be comfortable, because if I'm comfortable, they might not accept me. If I'm not doing the absolute best to try to show this person I appreciate them, to try to give them the attention, give them everything that they desire, they might not like me. And that was really one of the hardest pills that I thought I would have to swallow, that I would always have to, in a way, supply something to another person in order for them to see my worth. However, that's false. It's funny that this is why I'm saying I'm not no self-guru. This is why I say I'm not a preacher. I'm still learning as I'm continuing my life. Each and every day is literally a learning experience. I'm a college student. Like, I'm only 19 years old. There's just so much to the world that I have to explore, so much about myself that I have to explore. I can only give you guys the knowledge that I've gained up until this point. And you can do with that information whatever you like to maybe take you steps closer, so that way your journey can be not as quick, because every journey has to take time and you have to pace yourself. But so that way some blockage that you're having, some stops that you might just need a little push, a little force to get over that hump, I got you. Now back to the point though. It was really, I learned that I was always chasing after something else to make me feel worthy. I was always needing something else to make me feel like I'm better inside. I tell this story a few times to my close friends, and they think I'm kind of spoiled for this, but this was the first time that it really hit, like, this is not what I want. So I had gotten $1,000 and I decided that I wanted to get some shoes. I wanted to upgrade my shoe collection, so I wanted to get the University Blue 4s and the University Blue 1s. Two shoes that I was looking at and I was eyeing heavily. And they're both expensive. They gobbled up that $1,000. After I bought them, the order was sent. I was very happy. Like when I seen the order go through and everything, I was, ooh, yeah. And in a way, the anticipation really made me just so, I was just so joyous. When the day that I finally got the package and I finally opened it up, my first initial reaction was, ooh, I'm like that now. But then, not even 10 minutes later, right? This was after I had already put the shoe back in the box, wrapped it back up, and I just put it on my shelf. I got the shoe out again, and I just looked at it, and I was just like, In a way, it was a temporary joy. And now that I had acquired something that I was desiring for so long, I was hit with this wave of sadness. It was almost like I regretted the purchase. Now that I had the shoe, it was like, where do I go from here? I mean, yeah, I know I can wear it and stuff, but it really is just a shoe. And it was a moment like that when I think about and I reflect on it, that was how I really used to feel about a majority of things in my life. Everything materialistic that I was desiring for, if I did obtain it, it just wasn't what I thought it was. There was a joy that was always being sucked away once I truly had it in my grasp, and I never knew why. Now that same example was applied to when I would go into relationships. It seemed like I enjoyed chasing after girls more than I actually had them. It was almost like when I had this feeling like, oh, she's out of my league, like, oh, if I do get her, that means that, oh my gosh, that means I'm going up the league levels. Just stupid things that just don't exist. I was thinking that by getting certain girls, that was going to prove that I was more of a man to myself, but still, that just wasn't it. The key thing that every failure that I've had has come from it. I was too self-absorbed, and I didn't even believe in myself. I didn't truly accept the work that I was putting in. I was always putting myself down instead of putting myself up. That's why I made a mindset page on Instagram. This is why, why my whole YouTube channel is about fixing the mindset, because for so long, because of what was going on in here, my outside world was suffering. And there are still many people that are out there that still don't know that because of what's going on in here, their outside world is the way that it is. A lot of people don't realize that you can't fix your external problems until you fix your internal problems. My friend said this, and I actually loved the way that he described it. But it was, as we get older, we learn about the things that we went through as a child. We start understanding them more with more knowledge, more understanding. And so we understand the things that we're missing. We understand where certain parenting styles went wrong. And so after we've reached that certain threshold of self-awareness, we have to then unlearn certain toxic traits that we have, learn certain just behaviors, patterns that we should have never had in the first place. As you get older, you have to learn what was unhealthy about your childhood so that way you can unlearn it and grow. And that's why You know, thinking about that thought process, it makes me love life, because there's just so much growth that I can achieve in myself. There's just so much growth out there. There's just so much books, so much knowledge, and I haven't really been living like the way I just said I wanted to. And I just recently got back into reading and stuff like that. But there's just so much lack of understanding that people have about themselves. A person can be the most smartest, book smart student, but have no understanding when it comes to their own emotions. And now to wrap it up, you are enough. I am enough. We are all enough. I saw this quote in a book that said, "The keys to success was born with you. It was made with you. Everything that you need in this universe to be successful is already within you." And it was just funny that I really happened to see that quote at this time, because I felt like I really needed to see that. I don't want to keep looking for outside factors to fill in this void with myself. I don't need any type of accomplishments. I don't need any type of success to prove who I am to myself. They even say that you have to already have some type of confidence in yourself. You have to already feel like you're number one before you can truly become number one. They say that you already have to have an ego, and that's true. I was always having doubt in my mind when it came to sports, talking to girls, just doing activities in life, and it always hindered my performance. It always brought me down. And even though I was better than the majority of people, because of what was going on in here, I never showed it. I blocked my own talent. I blocked my own potential, and I don't want this to happen to any of you guys. Take a moment and just sit back and think. Why, if you feel like you're missing something in your life, ask yourself, why do you feel like you're missing that? Then ask yourself, if you were to obtain it, how would that change your life? Would that truly be the solution to your problems? At the end of the day, I ain't no preacher. I'm just a guy talking.